Hi everybody, I am going to be doing some video tutorials using a lot of this glimmer mist. I have this color and I'm going to use it, but I also want a deeper brown that I am out of. I have a lot of these, but there's also ways to make it yourself. So we're going to do that now. What I want to do is I want to make it a little bit metallic. So I'm going to use this. I've had this for a while. This is pretty cheap. I have golden metallic paints, but for this, I don't really want to use those. I want to keep those for other things. Just going to fill up a little bit with the metallic in here. Not too much, just some globbies. There we go. Okay. And I got it all over. Nice. It's wonderful. Okay. And then I have this ink, Bombay India ink. Just going to use a little bit of this. Just kind of show you a little bit. I really should be using a dropper. Acrylic paint already has binding agents in it, so we don't need to worry too much about adding glue. We can if I decide I need to keep the glitter in there, but I don't think I need to because I've got this, and I'm going to add some of this for a little bit darker brown. I'm hoping this will do it. If the ink doesn't do it, and if not, then I'm going to add some raw umber. Which is this color. So we're just going to add a little bit more of this, or a little bit of this, and you can't really see. We'll kind of see a little bit. Now I'm going to add some water, and we're going to see how this works. There's other ways to make this. You can use perfect pearls. So we've got to shake this really good to get it mixed up in there, and I'm excited to see how this will turn out. Okay, so I just got this little piece of paper here, and it's pretty brown. It would be a really cool mixed media background, like especially this. I love that mottled effect. So it's very fluid, and you know, it'd be good for a little bit of a metallic watercolor effect. It's not really metallic, it's just got a hint of shimmer, so that's nice because you really don't want too much anyways. You don't want crazy, well, sometimes you do. Now we're going to make some ink sprays with rubbing alcohol, and I'm also going to put some of these in there, and you don't want to use anything really coarse because it will clog up your spray. And I think I'm going to use this one, but it's actually very fine. So I think I'm going to use this in the, I'm going to make some aqua, and I'll use this in there, and I'm going to make some red violet, and I'm going to use this in there. We'll see how that turns out. I've also got some paints. These two will go together to make the aqua, and this one will go to make the red violet. And I've got my India inks, my Bombay India inks, so we'll see how those turn out. So I just have these old bottles. I've cleaned them out. They don't look cleaned out, but they are, and we'll see how this goes. So a little bit more. And then because mixing some blue in here, we'll make this a little bit more turquoise, less green. This is bright aqua green, and I want it to have a little bit more blue, so I am adding cerulean blue hue. None of these paints are very expensive. You could use these ones, but these are a little bit higher quality. So I'm just gonna check and see if it makes a difference between using these ones and using this one. The acrylic paint will serve as a binder, so we don't need to add glue. With a little bit of glitter up with this brush, and I'm just putting it in there. I don't want too much. So I don't want too much, so let's add more. That makes no sense, but there we go. And then I'll fill up the rest with the rubbing alcohol. Oh, it's swirling. So beautiful. And then we've got to really shake this up because I've got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Well, it looks pretty cool from this viewpoint. Okay, so here, well, I can smell the rubbing alcohol, that's for sure. That's pretty cool. Let's make the red violet and see what that turns out like. Let's actually, I'm gonna just do inks first in this one without paint and see what happens. I can always add paint if I want to. I am mixing cherry red and red violet because this is a little too purple, this is a little too red. So yeah. And then I'm going to put, now the problem with this is that we don't have a binder. So if I did just leave this like this, well, we couldn't do that because I don't have a binder in there. I'd have to add some glue. But I just want to see kind of, I want to check out the texture of it before I add paint. I just want to see. Just going to do a little test. And, you know, you can, like in this last one that I made, if I find that I want more glitter, just throw a bunch more glitter in there. So just make sure it's, like I would say, make sure it says extra fine glitter and you should be okay. So this is just with ink and it's pretty colorful. I'm not sure what it'll look like on paper. Okay, so that's not very intense. I definitely want it more intense. So maybe that's, I could add more ink, but I want to see now. I want to add this paint. So this is Folk Art Berry Wine. Okay, let's see if this makes a difference. There we go. Yeah, you really need to, the paint really needs to mix in there. Because I brush a lot of these. Oh, see, that's pretty good. I like that. I brush with a lot of my ink sprays. So I always need to see. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that one. So that's kind of a fuchsia color. And it's a little bit violet, like a little bit pink violet. I want it more deep, like a more deep red violet. But it's definitely a color I would use. I could see myself using this color a lot. So I'm gonna just leave it like that because I do have a deep red. Now you don't have to add glitter in here. This is the last one I didn't add glimmer and you could just do that. This is just I thought I'd make a couple more with rubbing alcohol and put some glimmer in them and just to see. So there you have it. And go ahead and start making your own ink sprays. And if you ever take any of my online courses, almost all of them use ink sprays in various ways. And you don't have to use ink sprays, but if you want to, it is a little bit of a cheaper way to do a few of the techniques.